All right. Hello, Carson. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for joining me here. So you wanted to reach out to me, and I offered this free strategy session. Um, so tell me, what is it that you're having trouble with? What is it that you're hoping I could help you with today?
So it's a couple things. I just got a couple goals with my company.
Hmm.
Um, right now, I think the biggest thing is licensing and insurance. Um,
Licensing insurance.
yeah. Also, we just hopefully trying to book more jobs. I know we're in slow season right now, but I got a certain revenue goals that I want to reach this year, and then I got like long term goals that I want to reach. So hopefully, you can help me out with.
Okay. As far as licensing insurance, what are you having problem with?
Um, So basically all of it, just like insurance, just the different insurance that I need to become DOT active, and then licensing in Pennsylvania is definitely difficult. Um, Achieving it in Pennsylvania, so those are two problems I'm having right now.
Okay. I have two videos on that, two podcast videos where I spoke with Jessica Marie um, and Erica Wilson. Did you view those podcasts?
I think I viewed the one with Jessica Marie. I'm pretty sure I watched that one with her.
Okay. And did you reach out to either of those two people?
No, no, I should, right?
Yeah, I definitely would. You reach out to both Erica and Jessica. Both of them are in that vicinity. Jessica was actually in Pennsylvania, so she's very knowledgeable on how to get insurance inside of Pennsylvania. And Erica really is very super knowledgeable on how to get your licensing and can help you with that process. So, and they both work at the basically same agency, so they can definitely assist you and get you ready for that. Jessica has helped a number of uh, moving companies in Pennsylvania specifically. So I would definitely you need to reach out to them. Other than that, is just my solution to you is you can pick up my book, whatever. Who sells moving insurance, which will which is a little tutorial. Plus, it gives you a list of everybody who sells moving insurance, and then just watch those two podcasts, which you can just go to the Seven Figure Moving Academy YouTube channel and go to the podcast button there that's on available, and you could find those podcasts and just study those podcasts. They're both about an hour or so, maybe a couple hours. So you'll have to sit through a couple videos. I'm, I'm bothered by this. Oh, it's on my screen. Um, Sorry about that. But yeah, you should get the watch those videos and study them because it'll walk you through the exact process.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so your next thing is about you want to hit your revenue goals and such.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit. What is it that you're? Do you have a company right now?
Yeah, I do. I do. I got we've been going for about 3 years.
Okay.
Um yeah, it was
Do you
based
have a? Sorry. You have a.
uh,
Go ahead.
they were based in Philadelphia, um, Pennsylvania, like King of Prussia area.
Hmm.
Um so this year will be our fourth year. Um and yeah, so we to be transparent, we do about 250,000 a year. Or this year we did 250,000. My goal next year or this year would be 400,000 is where it's kind of where I want to reach. Um, and yeah, so that's my goal.
All right. So 250,000. Are you? So you're just doing labor only currently?
No, we do labor and truck. So what we do is I have a 17-foot truck, and then if we need anything bigger than that, I'll rent from you all.
Okay. All right. My first suggestion is definitely get with Jessica and Eric and get yourself licensed and insured, especially in Pennsylvania, who are very strict on doing full service moves when you're not licensed and insured. So definitely get that done quickly. Okay. Um, Now, do you have a website?
I do.
What's your website?
Alienmover.com.
What mover?
It's called alienmover.com.
Alien Mover.
Yep.
I kind of like that name. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a decent website. Not great, but it's decent. There's a lot. That's probably one reason why you're not hitting your goal right there. They're coming and they're seeing this. So there's a lot you could do to fix it up, but it's not horrible. I like the simplicity of it. I like the photos. I like yeah, it's not horrible. I've seen a lot worse. Did you make it yourself or did you have someone make it?
I had worked with the SEO company, and
Really?
they made my website. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. They put it together.
Okay. What company was this that you worked with?
They were called. I have not worked with them for a little while. It was I'm not sure. They're based in Pennsylvania, so I'm honestly not sure. I gotta look it up real quick if you want me to.
No, you don't have to. I just want to see.
Something.
Sometimes they put a little link on the website for their stuff, which is
It's called Schwego Media.
Schwego.
Yeah, Schwego Media. Yeah, that's the name.
Right. Well, I'm gonna call them out because if they're professional, they did a horrible job. Horrible job. Let me just check something here. All right, you got a site map, but you don't have any articles.
Yeah.
No articles, nothing like that. So that's that. Your SEO sucks. I'm going to tell you right there. Your website's not great. I mean, like you said, it's not horrible, but it's for an SEO company, it's disgusting. They should know better. This is what they did for you is just horrible. Okay, I'm just being straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped working. It's the reason I stopped working with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I could design you a better website on Google Sites than this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my plan was is to fix the website up. I had got some like professional pictures taken. I'm still waiting for me to get back with those, and then I had 2 people do video testimonies that I was going to put on my new website. So I'm already hopefully in the process of changing the website out. I'm waiting for the pictures and the second testimony.
Are you having another company design this for you, or are you trying to do it yourself?
I was going to go on Fiverr, but I will definitely review my options.
Well, here's the thing: you get what you pay for.
Sure.
Right. So, they probably couldn't do any worse, to be honest with you. I mean, if you were to said you made this website yourself, I would have said, okay, it's not horrible. I've definitely seen worse. I do like the simplicity. The colors do not like I'm looking at the colors and it says alien movers underneath your little alien, which I kind of like the logo. That logo is actually pretty cool, by the way. But you can't read alien. It's the background isn't where you can see the words. So there, you know what I mean? Get free quote is off to the side. It's not good. My recommendation is you see my friends at Nick DeMoro, right? Let me see if I can. Yeah. Let me see what I can do here. I'm going to try to find his website for you. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get his website. If you go to Mover Marketing AI or you search for it, let me see if his website pops up. Yeah, his website doesn't pop up, which is Nick. Come on, dude. You don't have your website linked on your LinkedIn profile, man. What's up with that? I'm calling you out, Nick. That's not good. Anyway, go to search for Mover Marketing AI and talk with Nick. And I know that he could get you a really, really good. Him and his partner Marcus are really good about SEO and getting you a good website. Obviously, you're going to have to pay up for that. If that's outside your budget, I get it. Fair enough. But that's one thing you need to start working on right now, right? But that's a long-term strategy. It's not something that's going to take effect. It's going to take 6 months to a year before it gets any real traction. Okay.
Yeah. The thing with SEO is like there's a lot of companies that like market SEO, like a lot of cold calling companies and everything like that. And it's also like it's kind of hard to track because we have a Google My Business page, but it's like it's hard for me to track if it comes from SEO or if it comes from the Google business page.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's just a matter of setting up a Google Console, right? Which is setting up a Google Analytics correctly, so you can figure out, and then also setting up metrics, call metrics, and stuff like that, which is a whole tutorial in of itself. That can be done. Again, Marcus and Nick can help you with that as well, right? I'm trying to look up your thing here. All right. You have 62 reviews, right? You got a 4.6, so that's not bad. You do need to fix that, right? And then you got to start working on getting more reviews, right? And basically, I went to King of Russia movers, and that's what showed up, right? So that's one thing. By the way, I'll give you access to this video so that you can, if you're not taking notes, you can.
For sure. Yeah, my notes right here. For sure.
Yep. So yeah, your SEO needs to get done. So you need to get a new website, and you really got to start working on SEO in earnest. You got to get more reviews on your Google business profile, which if I click your business profile, what does it come up? Yeah, you're going to need to, on your Google business profile, you're going to need to, I like the number of photos. The photos are good. Keep doing that. You're not really doing any updates, really. The last update was in October 22nd. So you got to think of your Google business profile more like a Facebook page or a Twitter account or something where you're constantly updating it. You know what I'm saying? So, if you don't have like a video that you've done with a customer or you haven't done a move or something like that, then, put small articles or things that what's happening in your business and in your life. You got to kind of treat it as a social media account. Okay. So you need to optimize. You really need to really go and start optimizing your Google business profile. I'm looking at some of the other people in your area. Make a move. Oh, they got really horrible 3.6 and 18 reviews. Light Movers is probably your nearest closest competitor in the King of Prussia area. They've got a 4.7 star rating and 52 reviews. They got 10 less reviews than you, but their star rating is better. So
Packworks, they're a good competitor in my area.
Yeah. Then you got the Greater Philadelphia Moving and Furniture. They got a 5-point rating, but they only got 8 reviews. But
that's actually my account. That's another one of my accounts.
That's your account?
Yeah, that's my account. Yeah, I got 2 on there. That was our old name, so I never took down the account.
Okay. that's actually showing up. That's actually showing up better on the maps than your actual thing. So
Yeah, I think it's because it's a specific address, like it's a specific location that you could drive up to.
that really doesn't have too much to think because you go out to your customers,
Yeah,
so you don't having an actual storefront doesn't really do much.
yeah,
Um, I think the reason why is it's actually got a 5.0. It's got a 5-star rating versus yours has got a 4.6 rating,
okay,
right?
yeah,
And it's a little bit more it's a little bit more optimized too. So yeah, so you're gonna have to work on that. Your services page on both accounts is good, but you can actually you got all your services listed out, but you could actually on each service, you could actually, if you do it right, you could actually put a picture of the service, right? And you can you can use Chat GPT and Dolly to create little pictures, or if you already have like real pictures, which would be better, you could put pictures. Plus, you can put a little description of each service, right?
yeah. So,
So you could optimize those services better, right? Now these are that's something you can start doing right away, right? So I want to see your competitors here. Okay. So let me give you an example here. Philadelphia Movers LLC, they've got 4.9 star rating, right? They show up number one for Philadelphia Movers, but they got 917 reviews.
yeah,
Okay. Then you got Philadelphia Movers, which I think is probably another account of theirs, which is 4.6 rating and 372 reviews. So I don't know if those are the same company or not. They got pretty much the same name, which I don't know how they get away with that. Then you got Stellar Movers. They got 94 reviews. ABC Movers, Philadelphia, they got 161 reviews. Right. ABC again, another ABC Movers. What is these guys doing? Are they just like creating two accounts each? Is that like something you guys do in your area?
No, I don't know how I ended up with two, but it was by accident, really. But
because ABC's got basically two accounts,
yeah,
which just has another 335 reviews and a 5-point star rating, which is weird. Broad Street Movers. So you're gonna need to get up into like 150, 200 reviews to actually start ranking really high. How far is King of Prussia from Philadelphia?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay.
40 with traffic.
Is it north or south or west?
Of King of Prussia or Philly?
Yeah, Philly.
Let me see. I think it's a little bit north.
A little bit north? Okay.
Northwest.
Northwest? All right. Yeah. So you're going more towards Reading and Temple and all that up area then?
You said Reading?
Reading. Morgantown, Reading area?
Yeah, like right probably before that.
Yeah. Okay, just in that vicinity.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Philadelphia and its greater area. I mean, you got Philadelphia, you got Trenton, not too far away from you, right across the river, basically.
Yeah.
You've got Wilmington down. You've got, of course, you got across the river. All the little towns and stuff across that. You've got Reading. You've got Lancaster. All those in the real close proximity, which If you're doing only $250,000 a year, then what you have to do is you're going to have to start worrying about market share, because there's no reason why in that vicinity with millions of people in the area, you right, you should be doing at least $500,000, right? I think it's your marketing is definitely, what is your message? What makes you different and better than any other company? Have you actually figured that out?
No, I can't say that I have. I mean, I hope just reliability, good service.
See, those are all features. See, every company has those. What benefit do you give to somebody that nobody else gets?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
All right, I want go on your computer and go to justthebigstuff.com. Justthebigstuff.com.
Is it Mr. Big Stuff Moving?
Yep. Now that website, not a great website. However, it's a pretty damn good website, since seeing as I built it myself based on Google Sites, right? But if you look at the headline, look at what the headline says. Go ahead, read it out loud.
Let us take the stress out of your next move so you can relax and enjoy your new home.
Exactly. Notice I didn't mention any kind of feature. I just gave a benefit. That's my benefit. That's my headline. Okay. So you need to come up with some sort of benefit-rich headline that makes you stand out from everybody else. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, and again, I'm using Google Sites, and I'm doing this as a demonstration. I think you're aware of my $100 to $100,000 in 12 months as moving company startup challenge, right? So you got to the first phase of any business is putting the business there. You've put your business there. Now you got to make yourself known, right? And part of making yourself known is making yourself stand out, be something that's different than the next company, right? You want to make yourself different from, Philadelphia Movers, or, Riverfront Moving and Storage, or Stellar Movers, right? What makes you different from them, right? What makes you stand out? What are you going to do differently with your service that's different from them? I'll give you an example. Go to Q Shark Moving.
Say Q Shark Moving?
Yeah. Go Q Shark.
Q Shark. I'm on here.
Okay. Now, this is one of the best websites I've seen out there for movers ever, right? I've seen some good website, but this one is completely, now it's not a perfect website. There's a lot that I could critique with this and make this a little bit better, right? Notice the headline. It says best San Diego movers and packers, Q Shark Moving Company. Horrible headline. However, right, I would have made that more of a thing, but look at that. Hire affordable, reliable, and experienced San Diego movers. Top quality moving service, local and long distance movers. Estimate your moving costs for free. And then it got all these little bullet points, right? High quality, inclusive, fully equipped, payments after work is done. See that? He's adding authority to his headline, to his website. Even though it doesn't have a great headline or a great benefit, he still is adding the benefit versus with those icons and with his sub headlines. Not only that, he's got this big picture says 9 years in business, right?
Right.
So he's showing, hey, we've been in business for 9 years. We've been there for a long time. He's really pointing that out. Now, what I want you to do is just scroll down just a little bit. Oh, sorry, not just go to moving services. No, where I want you to go. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, scroll down that page a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
And you know, say it says, "Welcome to Q Shark San Diego Movers," and then he's got this thing: 55,000 movers, 2,800 plus 5-star reviews, 44 trucks in a row, 9 years in business. He's making himself stand out. What he's doing, he's kind of bragging about what he's done, but at the same time, he's backing it up with, here's the statistics, right? So when somebody comes to this page, right, even though it's not benefit rich, what they're going to say, oh, these guys are like, oh my God, look how many reviews they have. If they've got so many reviews, then they're going to do a good job for me. Does this make sense?
For sure, yeah.
So even though he might not give a benefit rich thing on that page, you know, that's fine. Now, if you guys should go to their homepage, movers you can trust. Okay, not a great benefit rich headline, but it's a really pretty good, right? Movers you can trust, and then he gives a why that you can trust him. He's got this little badge, high quality again, and this is thing again, it's showing that they're in there for 9 years, right? Then you scroll down on the homepage, BBB Torch Award finalist and winner for 2022. He's showing that he's got awards. Hey, we can back up our promises to you. And then you go down, you get this big picture where it's just 2,000 plus positive reviews, and it's got a bunch of pictures. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is like, if you go to the actual homepage there, which we are on now, I was on their San Diego page. But that's really given a bunch of benefits. So how can you incorporate the elements of this website into your website, right? So if you don't have the statistics they do, how can you really present yourself as somebody that's going to be high quality? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So you've got to have to figure out the elements of this website and figure out did you win any awards? You know, look, and then if you go down their homepage, right, you see hey, here's what we've done. Here's our rewards. Here's our reviews. And then they're not even yet selling the service at all. They're just showing, hey, here's our proof. Here's what, you know what I mean? Social proof after social proof. And you go down and you see a listing of all their 5-star reviews right on their first page. Then you see, okay, you can see that they've been featured on Fox News and Digital Journal, USA Today, CBS, NBC, Bazinga, ABC, right? Again, see, now we got third-party social proof, right? And so on and so forth. And then now you're starting to get into their services and so on and so forth, right? And it's a really good website. So I would take their homepage here and figure out how you can incorporate elements like that to your website, right? Does this make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So the next thing, if you want to still start, is you got to figure out what separates you from everybody else. With Q Shark, they're separating themselves from everybody else in the San Diego area by showing their proof that they've got all these testimonials, these 5-star reviews, that they've won these awards, that, you know what I mean, that they've been featured on all these high-profile third-party websites and channels, etc. You see what I'm saying? They're showing, hey, we walk the walk. See how it is, how they're separating themselves from everybody else?
Of course, yeah. Sure.
You know, so you're going to have to do the same thing with your area. So what is your unique selling proposition or position, which is called a USP? You got to figure that out for yourself. I don't want you to do anything illegal. So if you're a labor only company, maybe you're going to separate yourselves from the full service companies by saying, hey, don't let the full service companies overcharge you, right? We can get the job done in the same amount of time, and so on and so forth, right? One thing I'm doing for my company, the way I'm separating myself is if you go to the very top of my website, is basically there's a call out on the very top of the website where it says, "Hey, you can get a VIP move at do it yourself prices." You see what I'm saying? That's how I'm separating myself out from everybody else, right? Because they want the great service, but they don't want to pay the great service prices.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? However, I'm separating myself out. At the same time, I'm trying to exclude those people I don't want to work with at all, like the Craigslist tire kickers. You know what I mean? Yeah. The guys who are just chucking in the truck, we don't care kind of guys. I don't really want to work with those guys typically. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, hey, I offer a VIP service at affordable rates, right? There's other things I could do, like I could say guaranteed pricing, right? Which I probably one of the things I'm going to do versus full service moves, right? They don't offer guaranteed pricing; they offer an hourly rate. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But their hourly rate has all these hidden fees in it, right? Like stair charge, heavy item charge, long carry charges, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? My service is not, I'm just, what we charge you per hour is what we charge you per hour. And it takes as long as it takes. You see what I'm saying? There's no hidden fees, right? And let's be honest, why would a full service company, if they're charging an hourly rate, charge long carry, heavy item, you know what I mean? Stair fees, all this stuff. Just charge your hourly rate. You know what I mean? You're gouging them, right? So I can separate myself with guaranteed hourly rates, right? No hidden fees, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. One thing that you could do is you could actually create like a grid, right? Have all the different things that your company provides versus everything else the other company provides. Like you could say, high quality customer service. You could give yourself a green check mark, but then you on the grid next to you where it says full service movers, you put a red X, right? Guaranteed hourly rates. Give yourself a green check. The full service movers, give it an X or a circle or whatever it is, right?
Make a grid put it on my website.
Huh?
Like make a grid and then put it on my website for everybody to see, and then add like the check mark.
Yeah. So you could show them a comparison between your service and their service versus the things that people are looking for. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
Okay. And if you go to FergusonMoving.com, I believe it is. FergusonMoving.com. Yep. Okay. I'm going to show you an example of that grid if I can find it real fast. Okay. Let's go to those resources. Because Ferguson Moving has a great example of, I just got to find where it is. And Ferguson Moving is another example of a really good website, that really stands out and shows how they separate themselves from everybody else.
It's different locations.
Oh, yeah. You're going to go to resources. And then if you go on FergusonMoving.com, if you go to resources, then if you come down, it's on the far left, it says moving resources. And if you go down to moving company comparison guide, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. You create something like that. This is a little bit too much. You really don't need all that much, but you just take some of the major things and then you compare yourself versus the other guys or full service movers, right?
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this will help you stand out. Will help you do it. Not only that, it becomes a great piece for marketing. You could actually make a flyer of this and send it off. Right?
Sure, sure.
All right. So what do we got now? One, you got to get a new website with SEO, because the guys who did this, they have no clue of how to make a website or SEO at all. It was a good thing that you got rid of them. As soon as they popped up that website, you should have said you're fired. I mean, I'm like, it's like, really? This is the best you could come up with?
It looked good at the time for me too, because my website before that was even worse.
Well, if this is an upgrade, then I'd hate to see the other one. Yeah. But man, they were horrible, and I hopefully they're out of business, because if this is their final product, I mean, it's horrible. So good, you got to get a website that really encompasses your company, embodies your company culture, your company core values, etc., and that separates yourself, right? And that marketing message has got to go through all your marketing, not just your website. Then you've got to create SEO. You got to make sure that there's on-site SEO and then offline SEO, off-site SEO that you got to do. Check with, again, Nick DeMoro and Marcus Henning with Mover Marketing AI. Check out their website. I definitely recommend them. They're one of the best in the area, right? They can definitely get that done for you. Two, you've got to, as far as your marketing goes, you got to figure out what is your core value, your core values. What do you stand for, right? And then from that, from your core values, how does this make you stand out from everybody else? Okay. If I go to Philadelphia Movers, right, and I'm just going to hit the first one, which is Philadelphia Movers LLC. I'm going to go to their website. Yeah, I go to their website. They've got a semi truck. How does that have to do with moving? That's nothing to do with moving. A freight truck, not even a moving truck.
What is moving to Philadelphia Movers?
Yeah, it's PhiladelphiaMoversLLC.com, right? I mean, no matter what your moving needs are, Philadelphia Movers Breed Solutions. They've got a fairly decent headline, actually. Yeah. It's not the greatest thing, but it's not horrible. It's direct to the point and is benefit rich. So I like that. That their hero page, though, which thing again, they're highlighting that they got 4.9 stars out of 5 based off of 493 reviews, which isn't horrible, but they're highlighting their thing. They don't prove it, which is, but they do have a button that says read more on Google. I would never send them off my page. They got a free quote now, but there's really nothing that sets them apart, right? If they're going to say they got 4.95 reviews based off 493, right below that, I would have had a banner with all these different 5-star reviews or 4.9 star reviews, right? Showing all these reviews they had. If you go to my website, what's immediately right underneath my headline? Testimonials.
Yep.
And I only have 3 testimonials, so I put those 3 testimonials right at the front. I'm trying to sell, hey, look, this is what I'm not trying to give them, here's my benefit rich thing. Now I'm proving to them, here's my testimonials that say I'm the best thing since sliced bread, right? So you got to think from a consumer's point of view, from your customer's point of view. What do they want to see when they come to your website? They don't want to see sales, right? Which is what most websites try to do. They try to sell. Your website is not there to sell. It's there to inform. It's there to educate. It's there to, offer. I mean, and when you educate and you inform, you are in fact selling, right? But most people really, when they make a website, they're trying to sell, like hard sell. You know what I mean? And that's not, people are going there to learn about you and your services and what makes you different, right? If they're coming, if they like what they see and they're coming to your website, they're already interested in your services. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
They're already sold to a degree. You just now have to make, you just now have to like reinforce that thought. Like, this is why we're the best, right? This is how we stand out. This is why we give you. Yes, we might be a labor only company, but we're still going to bring ramps to the, so that we can load and unload quickly into your home. We're still going to bring floor runners so that your floors are protected. We're still going to protect your walls and your banister handrails. You know, we're going to do all the stuff that a full service company would do, but we're still going to be we're just a labor only company. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to try to position my company. You got to start from where you're at. So if you don't have that stuff, then you got to work with what you got to do. But you've got to think. So you've got to build up your SEO, right? Get your website, do your SEO. Google My Business profile has got to be optimized, right? And you got to start working on reviews, right? Now, when you're at a web, here's some points you got to work on. When you're at somebody's house, get a sign like on a corrugated piece of plastic you could get from Myers or thing, and get a sign printed up. This is, hey, Alien Movers moved me, and they're the best. And you have your customer stand with the sign, and you take a picture.
Yeah.
A selfie picture, or have one of your guys take a picture, or you take a picture of your guys with the customer. However it is, it's you and your guys taking a picture with the customer, right? And then you're going to post that on your Facebook. You're going to post that on your Google business profile. You're going to post it on your website if you can. You're anywhere you can post that picture. You're going to post it on Twitter, post it on Pinterest. You're going to post them all over, right? So that's one thing. Ideally, you'd want to get a video testimonial, right? So you're like, hey, hey, thanks a lot for working with Alien Movers. We really, truly appreciate it. What did you like about our service? What was it about our service that you drew us into you, right? And just get them to say what they like about your company. Make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a video testimony for one of our gamers. So I was waiting to put it on the website when I get a new website.
Okay, that's great, awesome. You want to get more of those, right? Sure. When I first started my business, when I first started my first business, the one thing that separated me from everybody else that was in the business, that was my unique, is I had all these testimonials that were on YouTube. I literally had hundreds of video testimonials on YouTube. Does this make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So I had my customers do a YouTube video, do a quick thing. Not everybody wanted to do it. I'd say out of 10, I'd probably get 3 out of 10 that would do a quick video testimonial for me. Yeah. Right. And now now what I would have done if they wouldn't have done a video testimony, most likely they would have taken a selfie picture with me, and I could have had them hold that sign, and I could have had that picture of them saying, hey, we used, you save moving and storage, and they're the best. They would have at least done that. Right. And then while you're there, you're going to say, hey, can you get on your phone and go to Alien Movers on Google Maps and leave us a review before we leave? Right. Also, that's a great test. If they're not willing to do that, then there might be something that you didn't do quite up to par. So that would be a great thing to find. Hey, I get it. You don't want to leave a review from. Was there something that you were expecting? Was there something more that you would have expected from us so that we could have earned this testimonial, this review from you? Right. And you'll be like, well, yeah, we were kind of hoping you would have done X, Y, and Z. You say, hey, look, I totally apologize. Thank you for that feedback. We're going to start incorporating that into our next moves. Is there anything I could do to make that right with you right now so that I can get a good review from you? And then they'll say, yeah, well, give me a discount. No, fine. If I gave you $50 as a refund, as a rebate, would that make it better? Would that make it right with you? Yeah, that would be good. Good. If you leave me a review right now, I'll give you the $50 right now in cash. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it gives you a chance. It also gives you a chance to get the waters right, test the waters. Because if they're not like happy, I mean, if they're like really supercharged, you guys are the greatest thing since sliced bread. There's no reason under the sun why they wouldn't give you a good positive review. Does this make sense? So, that gives you a good thing to test the waters and then find out what you should have done better or what you could have done better. So it gives you good feedback, gives you criticism of what, you know what I mean? Even though they might be happy, maybe there was something, maybe you didn't communicate well enough, or, they were expecting a little bit more, whatever it was, right? So it gives you a chance, and then you can, hey, look, all right, so we didn't give you the best service that you were expecting. I get it. I'm sorry for that. Thank you for the feedback. We're going to really work on that. What can I do to make this right? And maybe they would just say, hey, can you do blah, blah? Maybe it's not even money. Maybe it's just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll get that done for you right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Free of charge. It's off the bill. We'll get it done. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
All right, good. But I go to your competitor's website, and there's really nothing that makes them stand out. I'll go to Stellar Movers, free moving estimates in 24 hours. That's everybody offers free moving quotes. It's like that's the thing. However, what they do have is a really well designed website. I really like their website. Their headline is big and bold. I would give like a really that boldness. I would really try to get a benefit rich headline. You can still do the get the quote, but here's the thing: if you go right below that, you got free estimates. Good, they've already said that, so I don't know why they're putting that there again. But hey, fair enough. Then you got moving tips. Instead of moving tips, I'd say learning center, right? What we offer. Here's our services. This is what we do, and about us. Hey, great. Their website's actually pretty good. A lot of things, although it's just too much to read today, right? It's way too wordy. Although it's not bad. It's best to have that on it. And I really like their logo, right? But there's really nothing that makes them stand out from Philadelphia movies, right? So you got to really figure out what you're going to do, what from your core values, how you're going to make it so you stand out, and then put that in a benefit-rich statement as a headline. Make sense?
Does.
Right. So good. So now that you got that and you got your marketing done, you figured out your marketing angle and your USP, you're going to need to start doing. Are you doing postcards at all?
No, I haven't did postcards yet. That's something I wanted to do this year, though.
You got to start doing postcards. Are you doing? Are you going and doing door knocking at all?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
So you're going to all the best neighborhoods, all the better neighborhoods, and knocking on everybody's house that has a for sale sign.
Yeah, I've been doing that probably for about I just started doing that probably about last month. I've been doing it, and then I watched your one video where you had went on Zillow and were kind of like breaking it down. So then I kind of understood more because before I was just going to all the houses. I wasn't like looking on the pictures and seeing if there was furniture there. So that kind of was going. There was nobody there. It'd be a lockbox. So now, I kind of make like a little list before the day before, and then,
Good. Yeah, you should do that and go on if you're doing door knocking. It doesn't matter if somebody's home or not. Okay. Now, if you're sending out postcards, you don't want to send postcards to an empty residence because it just goes, it's a waste of money. But if you're going to go door knocking, even if that house is empty, you can still leave a door hanger, right? Get a door hanger mocked up and put that on the door because real estate agents are going to bring people in and out of the home. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Real estate agents will come. There will be people that are going to come and look at the thing, and they're going to see, right? The new owners, when they buy the house, if you put a door hanger on it, they'll see that thing on the door, hopefully, right? And then they go, oh, Alien Movers. I'm glad that they did it. But you're going to have to leave some sort of, whether it's a flyer, door hanger, a business card is good, but it's not as good as a door hanger or a flyer. right?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
So how many houses would you say I should be targeting a day? Like how many you think would be a good number to target in a day?
The answer to the question is how many homes are for sale any given day and week, right? Now, let's say you're in Philadelphia, you probably got a lot of homes that are for sale in your target audience, right? Let's say there's 1,000 people a month, right? So you're not going to be able to door knock everybody on one day, right? So basically, you're going to take that that list of 1,000 people that have homes up for sale, and then you're going to break it down into like 23 days or whatever it is, right? So 5 days a week, you should be going out and knocking on doors, right? So let's just do the math here. So let's say out of 25 days, because you don't necessarily have to do weekends. So, right? So you want to get 1,000 homes divided by 25 days. That's 40 pieces that you've got to do. So every one should be doing 4 door knocks, ideally, in every day. So right?
45, you said? Like 4 to 5 every day?
40. See?
40 door knocks every day?
Yeah. Now, if you can't do that, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But that's based on the math, that's what you should be doing.
Okay.
Right? If you can't do that, do what you can. Right? Right. But you also want to, besides door knocking on houses that are for sale, you also want to go to every single self-storage facility. You want to door knock on, you want to talk to real estate agents. Go to real estate agents. Start talking to real estate agents, right? You should be doing 1,000 pieces of promo every single month with your cold calling outreach, right? If you do that, I guarantee within your area, you should be doing minimum of $30,000 a month. Probably more like 50 to 60,000. Okay. Now, if you can't do it yourself, then hire somebody to go. Maybe you got a girlfriend, or maybe you got a cousin or a brother or sister. Maybe you've got good friends that can do it for you, or get your crew to go do it. Say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you to go out and do this, and I'm going to follow up, right? Because you just don't want them to take their flyers, take off, throw the flyers in a trash can. You know what I mean? So, go, oh, we're going to get paid for 8 hours, and then have them come like back 5-6 hours later, say, yeah, we got them all out. You know what I mean? You're going to have to follow up with them. Like, you're going to have to go into the neighborhood that they went to, right? You're going to give them a neighborhood, so you're going to have to go and pass out all these flyers and then verify that they got passed out, right? So you can go up to a house and go, oh, there's no flyer on this door. Okay, well, maybe that's a one-off. Go to the next house. Oh, there's no flyer on this house either. You know what I mean? After you'll be able to tell after you've done it a little bit. But you just be careful when you're having other people do it and you're not doing it yourself. Right? Right now, you're not getting enough business to really think, so it should be you yourself. Another thing, are you and your guys in uniforms? Do you guys got matching T-shirts, hats, beanies?
Yeah, I've had like a couple T-shirts, but we just got the new team that I got. We all got T-shirts. Yeah.
Okay. That should be mandatory whenever they're on the job. You should be wearing that. Minimally, like it's the winter time. Obviously, someone's not going to be out wearing a T-shirt, but maybe they could put the T-shirt over their hoodie or something when they're working, something like that. Or you give them beanies that have like alien movers on it or something that's going to make you guys stand out and look like you're a reliable, trustworthy business, right? Anyway, so there's that. The next thing you need to work on is, are you doing any kind of pay-per-click advertising?
No. Answer that is no.
Have you tried it before in the past?
I did try it.
How what were the results of that?
And that also just goes back to we were getting a lot of random calls, a lot of people calling about work. Like it'd be a lot of people like, hey, like, are you hiring? And it'd be like people calling about U-Haul trucks for some reason. Like it'd be a lot of, I guess I wasn't getting the right customers or the right people clicking that I should, and it was charging me like about like $500 a week. So.
Okay. The reason for that is that whoever was doing your PPC campaign, whether it was you or a company, they didn't set up the campaigns effectively enough to actually target a certain demographic. And what they weren't doing is there's this thing called negative keywords. Negative keywords are moving truck rentals, U-Hauls, Penske. You don't want to show up for U-Hauls and Penskes, right? You don't want to show up for under cheap or free, right? You don't want it, those keywords you want to negate from your PPC campaigns, and that's why they're called negative keywords. So your PPC guy, whoever was doing it, wasn't putting a negative campaign on that, and therefore you were getting all these junk things, right? Also, the key to a good PPC campaign is actually targeting demographics. For instance, if I'm going to target students, people going into college, does Philadelphia have a big school in the area?
Got a whole lot.
Like a university or college?
Yeah, you got Temple.
Temple? Okay. So,
schools.
Okay, good. So, not high school, but college, right? So, let's say you're going to do a campaign for moving students in and out of college, right? That campaign is not going to be the same campaign that you're going to run to senior citizens to do senior moving, right? So a lot of what's happening is they did a blanket shotgun approach to the PPC campaign, targeting everybody versus targeting one demographic. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And that's another reason why you didn't have great success with your PPC campaigns, because you want to run your PPC campaigns based off of the keywords for that demographic. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So you're going to want, student movers, apartment renters, homeowners, empty nesters, seniors, so on and so forth, right? They all get the marketing message is going to be it's going to be the same in spirit, but it's going to be targeted to the different campaigns differently. Like you're going to give the core values of your marketing is going to be there, but you're going to direct it to seniors or students or homeowners and renters. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does for sure.
While filtering out all those people, all those leads that you don't want, that are just costing you hundreds of dollars, right? So and another way you do that is you create what's called landing pages. A landing page is basically, if you go to these big marketing gurus that are all trying to sell you how to get rich quick and all that good stuff, they have this website that you go to, and all it does is talk about their big get rich quick scheme. Yeah. And that's a landing page. So that landing page, all it does is talk about the thing that they're trying to sell you. Doesn't talk about anything else. There's no navigation to any other site, nothing like that. It's just a landing page, right? It keeps you on that page, and you either stick on that landing page and go through their sales presentation that's on their page or video or whatever, or you click off, right? And that's what you want. Just as much as you're trying to attract people, you're trying to detract people that you don't want at the same time. So it's a fine balance, and it's a lot of art as well as science behind that, right?
So
go ahead.
What would I have on my landing page? Would that be my website?
Your website is not a landing page. However, for instance, if you offer assembly or disassembly of furniture as a service, right? Your assembly page, your furniture assembly service would be a landing page.
Okay.
So you would just talk about that service in a landing page, right?
Okay.
That's boom, right? And then from there, underneath that landing page, you would have a bunch of SEO optimized articles talking about that service or things about that are related that are adjacent to that, that would link to that landing page. The only link that that landing page would have going out from that page would be to your homepage.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So you want to have a landing page for all your different marketing pages. So if you're doing a marketing campaign on like 1-bedroom apartment moves, right?
Mhm.
That 1-bedroom apartment move would have its landing page.
Okay.
Right? 2-bedroom apartment move, its own landing page with all you're talking about, but it's still giving them how you stand out. It's giving you your core values, your USP, but it's gearing that USP towards that different service or demographic. Make sense?
Yep.
Excellent.
That makes sense.
All right. So you need to get a PPC campaign. And again, Nick and Marcus can help you with that.
Those are what mover marketing AI.
Mover marketing AI, right?
Okay.
All right. Excellent. You just gave me a thumbs up. Thank you.
Oh, that was me that did that?
I don't know who did it, but somehow I
seen it.
I got a little thumbs up. Maybe because I said the word thank you. No, guess not.
Thank you. Maybe I gotta say it. All right, thank you.
No, that was weird. Anyway, so there's that. So are you doing any kind of networking to real estate agents, loan brokers, home appraisers, anything like that?
Not really. Not as much as I should be.
Okay, you need to start doing.
I try and reach out. Usually through Instagram. Different,
That's not a bad idea to do that, right? Now here's an adage. It's the golden rule. You can find it in every single book about wisdom and stuff. The Bible talks about it, everything. You got to give before you can get, right? So you got to give people value before you can get value back, right? Right. The Bible talks to it in various different ways. They say you got to love your neighbor, right? And then so on and so forth. There's different, you can read all sorts of books on this. The book, The Secret, which I'm not a big fan of, but they talk about this. So you got to give. What was that? Your wife or something?
No, my dog. Yeah, my dog.
Oh, yeah, my dog does that every so on. So you got to figure out when you're doing networking, what can you provide to these guys? What value can you give to them? Right? Say, hey, look, hi, I'm Carson. I'm here in the Philadelphia area. I noticed that you're one of the best real estate agents in the area. Congratulations. I'm really impressed with your work. Right? Would there ever be, is there any way you and I can somehow work together? Right? Is there any way that we can actually facilitate each other? What is it that you would want from me for you to refer people to me? What would make you confident and confident that you could refer me, that your guys would get great service? What could I do? What could I provide? Right? And you just want to get in that rhythm. You understand? What value? What is it that I could do for you so that you can do for me later? Is the viewpoint, right? And then just start building a relationship, right? Networking is about relationship. It's not going to happen right away, but the more and more you start going to networking groups, BNI. I hate BNI. I just personally I hate it, but there are people out there that's had success with BNI, and
what?
BNI, Business Network International, or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's a networking group, but you can find networking groups that don't cost you money, because BNI costs you like $1,000 to join, and then you got to show up every week at this, right? And if you can't show up, then you got to send a replacement, and it's like, come on, give me a break. That's just ridiculous, right? And then if you're in a bad group that doesn't do referrals to each other, then it's a waste of time and money. And there's more groups that are crap than there are good groups, right? And most of the good groups already have, because they only allow like one person from each business category or industry. So you'd be the only mover in that group. Does this make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Which is nice, but at the same time, if the group is full of nothing but, lawyers and doctors,
Yeah.
it's worthless,
Yeah, it's not really.
So you got to really do it, and you don't want, and it's like over $1,000 or more just to sign up and join the group, and then you got to do all this training to be in it and blah blah blah. It's not worth it. Me, I would just go to free. There's free. You can go to meetup.com and find groups. I used to run when I had my business. I would have in my warehouse, I would have once every week, I'd have this euchre tournament. And I put it up on meetup.com and I promoted this. And I would have like 20 people at my euchre tournaments. Right?
Yes. Euchre. What's a euchre? What's euchre?
Euchre is a card game. It's very popular here in Michigan.
Okay.
It's like the state card game. The official state card game in Michigan is euchre. Right? It's a big popular game here in Michigan. But I would run euchre tournaments, right? And now, what was that my target audience? No, but it was a way for me to meet people. And I got people who were looking to move would hire me because they were part of my euchre tournament group. You know what I mean? So you can do fun things like that. But you got to create some sort of relationship with real estate agents, mortgage brokers, loan brokers, home appraisers, right? And then you got to continually do that. It's like when you're dating a girl, are you going to date her once and marry her? No, you're going to date her for a while before you get to third base. It's very rare that you could date a girl and get to home base on the first date. And if you do get the home base on the first date, then you're thinking, what's wrong with this chick, right?
Yeah,
this isn't wifey material. So it's just think of it in that way. You got to build that relationship, and then you got to continue the relationship. Using Instagram, using Twitter, using Facebook, those are all good, but there's nothing that works better than face-to-face, handshake, flesh-to-flesh handshake. You know what I mean? So there are those things you got to start working on as well. Okay. Are you doing any kind of organic Facebook marketing? Are you going to different Facebook groups in your area, right? And I guarantee all your major towns and cities, suburbs, everything will have a Facebook group. Like King of Prussia will have a Facebook group for King of Prussia. They might have 2 or 3, right? Philadelphia will have 2 or 3 Facebook groups just dedicated to people in those areas, right?
I used to be big on that. I don't really been focused on it, but I used to be big on like the yard sales. Facebook.
Not yard sales. I'm not talking about yard, but that's a good idea. You've got the idea.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is actually community Facebook groups. So every community will have a Facebook group. So try to find when you do this, you want to find the communities that have a large number of people, 2, that they're active, and 3, that you contact the admin of that Facebook group and get their permission to put in helpful little miniature articles, right? Like you want to give like 1, 2, or 3, like a 3 bullet point article about how to move or what to look for to move, how to move safely. You know what I mean? Right? Ideally, that article would then have a link to your website that has a full article on it, which then links to a landing page, which then links to your website.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
So, you want to give. So you don't want to spam them, right? But you want to let the admins know, hey, is it all right if I join the company and I give information about how to do moving correctly, without advertising? If I just give good benefits, most of them say, yeah, as long as you're not advertising, as long as you're not promoting your stuff, it's okay. So, like you'll say, hey, 3 tips on how to pack your house effectively, right? And then you'll go give a 1-2 sentence a paragraph just for, and then bullet point 1, bullet point 2, bullet point 3, a thing. In conclusion, packing can be hard. It will be hard if you don't plan, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? If you need more information, if you want, no obligation, go to this article that talks more about it, right? You're not going to promote your business, but here's an article that might help you. And that article just may happen to be, you know what I mean? Going to your website, right? And then eventually people will see these different things. And then you also want anybody that talks about moving, right? Again, you usually at that thing, admins are fine when you say, hey, look, I own Alien Movers in the King of Prussia area. We operate in this area. We can actually help you with it. If you'd like to know information, DM me, or here's my phone number, or whatever. You know what I mean? Usually that's okay if you're responding to somebody that has a specific question. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
But you want to respond to people's on those community boards. You want to respond often. You don't have to do it every single day. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Right? There's things you could do you could actually have AI, right? Chat GPT and AI actually respond to those automatically, and you could set it up so that you're only responding to 1 or 2 different comments or thing. And then Chat GPT will read the comment, go in, figure out what it should say to respond to that comment, and then respond, right? Under your name, right? Ideally, you would join up under your business name, but sometimes, again, the communities they want to do it under your personal name, right? The more that you're communicating, more you're building up trust within the community that you're going to give good, valuable, comments and valuable, information, right? That builds up what's called the trust, right? Because there's 3 things that make people buy. They want to know, like, and trust you. Right now, we're in phase 2. We got to get you known, right? Right now, people don't know you, right? 2, by giving good information that actually answers people's questions, that actually is valuable in their eyes. That's when they start trusting you, and then from there they can start liking you. So when you meet those qualifications, know, like, and trust, that's when you've made your sale. Right. Does this make sense?
Yep.
So we're in phase 2, and right now it's all decks on hand, all hands on deck. Sorry, right? All hands on deck to get yourself well known, and you got to use every avenue that you possibly can to do that. Social media, YouTube, PPCs, your websites, all that, whatever it is, just start doing it. And obviously, you don't have a lot of money. So you got to figure out and be creative on how you're going to do that for free or for the least amount of dollars that you possibly can. Does this make sense?
Yeah. So out of all of these, what do you think is the most important, do you think?
Door knocking. If you do it and you do it consistently and you do it day after day after day, you know what I mean? And you continue to do it, not just one day, not just 1 week. If you do it for every month of the year, January through December, and you're doing that will be your biggest ROI right now, specifically right now. If you do that, I guarantee you're going to probably hit your marketing goals. But you got to do it effectively, and you can't skimp on it, right?
So you said aim for 40 doors a day?
Yes.
And
well, it really depends on how many homes are for sale on average per month, right? So if there's 1,000 per month that comes up on Zillow or Redfin or whatever, then that's what, then you just basically how many for Monday through Friday, how many Monday through Fridays are there in the month? Divide that, 1,000 divided by that, that'll tell you how many homes that you want to shoot for every single day. And if you can't hit that, fine. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself because you didn't meet that goal. But the closer you can get to that goal every single day, the more likely you're going to get 30, 40, 50, 60 plus $1,000 a month. right?
Okay.
Now, let me ask you, how much are you charging per hour?
So if I do 2 movers, it's 150 an hour. And then 150 flat for truck and equipment.
Okay. Now, if you're doing, how much are you charging just for labor only?
I do 150 an hour, and then I do
For labor only?
75 travel fee, 75 or at half an hour travel fee.
Why are you charging a travel fee?
Extra revenue and just to because
So you're gouging the customer.
No, I don't know if I would say that.
I mean, really, does it cost you $75 to drive a half hour?
No, I mean I guess it just depends. Like if we're going out to Philly and that hour,
Which,
like because I pay my workers too the time
right. But
even
if you're charging at $150 an hour, if you're paying your guys $20 to $30 an hour, you're still, if you're doing a 2-hour mini, let's say,
so I minimum, yeah.
If you're doing a 2-hour mini and they got to go half hour to Philadelphia and a half hour back, that's 3 hours. 20 times 3 is 60. 60 times 2 for 2 guys, that's $180. You're charging $150 an hour, right? And it's a 2-hour mini. You're still making almost $150.
Yeah, $150. Yeah.
Just
I do a 4-hour minimum. I do a 4-hour minimum for my workers.
A 4-hour minimum
for my workers, 4 hours. Yeah.
How much are you actually paying them per hour?
I got one guy I paid 23 an hour, and the rest is 17 an hour. For
okay,
me.
So you're basically on average $20 an hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if you get a job that's a 2-hour mini, and it's only a 2-hour job, you're paying them 4 hours each. $80 an hour.
Like say it comes out to like 70 each, like 67 exactly. So it comes out like 130.
No, you're paying on it. You got one guy at 23 and the other guys are at 17. So if the average is $20.
Yeah.
Right? And your $20 times 4 is $80 for one guy.
Yeah.
So now you're talking you're talking $80 for one guy. The other guy is $80. That's $160, and you're only charging $150 an hour.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with the travel fee.
I understand that. So the travel fees, let's say another $80. So let's say 80 because we're going to round up to an even number, right?
Sure.
So you take the 80. So that's 40 hours for one half hour, $40 for another half hour, right? So you're charging 150 plus the 40. That's $190. But you're still giving your guys for the 1 hour, 2 guys for 1 hour is $80, right? So you got 150. So you're making $380, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You're making 100. You're making 380 because it's 150 for each hour for 2 hours, plus the $80 for the travel fee. That's $380, right? You're paying your guys 160 of that.
Yeah.
Why are you paying a 4-hour minimum for your guys when you're only getting paid a 2-hour minimum? Think of the math here. This is just math.
So what's that come
You're
out to?
Losing money.
220 profit? Oh, I'm tripping.
No, you wouldn't be because it's 180, right? Out of 380. 380 minus 180, it's only $200.
$200, yeah.
Right. How many jobs are you losing because you're charging like that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'll give you an example. I charge $120 an hour for my labor-only services. 2-hour mini, that's $240, right? I pay my guys $20 an hour, right? I don't give them a mini. I don't give them a mini. So if they work 3 hours, they get paid for 3 hours. They don't get paid 4 hours. Right? You're paying your guys. You're literally paying your guys half of what you charge your customer.
Yeah, for sure.
But you, out of your money, you got to pay yourself. Plus, you got to do all your marketing, all the other stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we get.
So your guys are literally getting paid more than you to do that one job.
Yeah, I guess
Your payroll should not be more than 40%.
Yeah.
And that's on the high end. It should be more like 30% of what you charge your customer per hour.
For sure. Okay.
So hypothetically, just if you were charging $100 an hour, hypothetically, your guys should only be, both of your guys collectively should only be getting paid 30% of that. Ideally, no more than 40. So on the high end, if you're doing 40%, right, they'd only be getting $40, $20 each for that job. Right? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You've got, with labor only, you got a little bit more leeway. You got a little bit more leeway. You can give up a little bit more because your overhead isn't as much. But you're trying to build up, so you're trying to get licensed and insured. And if you're going to do it where you're literally giving away half the profit, half the gross income of that job, you're losing money because you got to pay your lunch. You got to pay what you need to live to survive, right? So you're literally getting paid less than your guys are, because you're only going to get out of that. You're only going to get 20% if you're lucky out of that $200. 20% is $40 for the entire job. You see what I'm saying? While your guys are getting $80, $100, whatever, you're only getting paid 40. Does that seem right? How can you actually be profitable with that pay structure? I'm not trying to ridicule you. I'm trying to get you to understand and critique you.
No, I understand. I mean, I think it's a matter of a lot of it though is a matter of I feel like because if you do so you say you do 120 an hour, you do a 2-hour minimum.
I charge my customers a 2-hour mini, yeah.
So what do they pay you, 240?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you give your guys? You said you give your guys like they get paid for what? If they do 3 hours, they get paid for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They get paid from the time they leave to the time they get back on the job.
So go ahead.
So if it's a half-hour away job, right?
Yeah.
Then they're going to get, and if they take the full 2 hours, right? Obviously, they're going to travel half hour there, half hour back. That's an hour plus the 2 hours they work. They're only going to get $60 each an hour, or $60 for that entire job. Sorry, $60 for that entire job each. So that's $120.
So what do you book a lot of labor jobs to maximize your profits?
Yeah, I got to keep the price low because I got to be a little bit more affordable, and so I can be competitive, right? Okay. As I build up my reputation, I can charge more, right? This area could literally support $200 an hour for 2 guys with a 2-hour minimum. I'm just not up to that level just yet, right? I got it because I'm just starting doing $120 an hour. People they can pay that. You know what I mean?
Is this based off of your $0 or your $100 to $1,000 plan, or is it based off of like your company?
I don't understand your question. Say it again.
Like, is this what you usually charge, or is this what you're charging because you're doing your $100 to $1,000 challenge?
Both. I don't normally. I didn't do labor only. I haven't done labor only since 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Right. So doing part of this challenge, I'm building up this company. So I got to start that's at a very competitive rate, yet will still be profitable for me. Okay. So that's why I'm doing 120. Eventually, once I've gotten 30, 40, 50 reviews, positive reviews, and I've established the company, hopefully, within the next couple months, few months, then I can start upping my prices, right? I get 20 reviews, I'll probably bump that up to $130 an hour, right? I'm going to have to create those benchmarks that I want to hit, right? Eventually, this area could command a $200 an hour for a 2-man crew, 2-hour minimum, $200 an hour. I'm not up to that level yet, right? So once I'm up to that level, then I will definitely be raising my prices as I hit these different benchmarks, right? And if I fail in a benchmark, then I will probably lower my prices so that I can make up for, for instance, if I get a bad review, right, I might lower my price down. Like if I do a job in the next month and I get a bad review on it, that's going to suck, right? So obviously what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my price down to, like, say $100 or $110, right? So that I can get more jobs, right? So the strategy I'm using is my way I'm going to price is right now at the beginning until I can prove that I can command such prices, as I'm starting at not at the low, I'm not starting low, I'm starting right where I'm competitive, and then I'm going to build up from there.
Sure.
Okay. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it does for sure. It does for sure. I got a question also. USA Home Listing.
Yep.
The guy Greg Shepard. You know him?
Yep. Know him personally. Met him. Shook his hand. How can I help you?
Shook his hand. Sorry. So I was talking to him, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts on his philosophy as far as he was saying that with his company, they don't even accept 2-man jobs. Like they don't accept like one apartment bedroom jobs, and that he sees like your focus should be solely on trying to attract like 3-bedroom house, like large house jobs, because that's where, usually like he basically was saying that 2-man jobs was like a waste of money. So how do you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. If you're a labor only, which you are, that's what you are. I mean, the fact that you're doing full service moves is technically illegal. So let's call you what you are. You are a labor only company. So you doing a 1-bedroom load or unload, a 2-bedroom load, unload, that's not beneath you. That doesn't mean you need to rock bottom prices either, right? If you were a full service move, then I would say I totally agree with his philosophy that you want to really go for the bigger moves. However, if you do not have the reputation, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't have the reputation. You can't.
You got to work your way up to that. Sure.
You got to work your way up to that. That's not something you could just start off because you don't have the reputation to back up what you're saying or doing.
Yeah.
However, he's working with a company that does have the reputation that makes multiple millions of dollars a year, right? For them to do a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, or a 3-bedroom townhouse or condo is kind of below them. I totally agree with them, right? They have so much overhead that they have to charge. They have to go after the big money, the big dollar jobs, right? But they also have the reputation, so they can back up what they're going after too.
Yeah.
You, me, and others in our position are not at that position, right? We have to work up to that level. So yes, I agree with them, but then again, I disagree with them, and it's only based on where you're starting at.
Okay, where you at? Like where you at specifically?
Right. Yeah. Now, if you were a full service mover and you were just starting off, I would say you want to do those 1-bedroom apartments, so 2-bedroom apartments, but at the people that can actually afford you, right? You don't want to do those guys that are going to be off Craigslist or something like that, right? You want to get the guys. So you want to be in your sales call. You want to start finding out where they're at, what their budgets are, and if they can't afford your services, where you could be competitive at that point of where your business at. I'm talking being competitively priced, not rock bottom price. Right? Far too many people think their USP, their unique selling position, is price, and it's not. People want service over price, right? But at the same time, they don't want to pay too much. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be competitive. So if you're just starting off, yes, I want you to go after the storage units, the 2-bedroom apartments, the 1-bedroom apartments, right? Do anything that brings in the income that will pay you at the price that you need to be paid, right?
Sure.
Then at the same time, you need to be working on those bigger high dollar jobs. Does this make sense?
All right. Okay.
And then once you're up to the level where you're getting enough high dollar jobs, right? And you could bring in the customers regularly, right? And you could do enough to actually do it. And then you're building, you're getting equipment, you're getting better equipment, getting better people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can put some full timers in it. You've got now you're getting up to the point where you can actually hire 1 or 2 or even 3 full-time outside sales reps. Then by all means, that's what I totally agree with him 100%. But until you're there, that it would be stupid of you to deny yourself a job that will give you a pay.
Well, I personally wouldn't. I personally take what I can get. You know, that's just
and that's where you're at as a company right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to warn you not to do that to the point where it's going to cost you money.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. You know, I definitely understand. Like, there's definitely people that you don't want to work with, as far as people that are gonna be cheap and down your back the whole time you're moving. Different things like that.
Right. The lower the income, the lower the people are willing to pay, the more hassle they're going to be.
Yeah, I know pretty well.
Right. It's just the way it is. The cheaper the person, the more problem they are. Right. So, you got to do what you got to do right now while you're in business, and I totally agree with that. And I'm not negating you or ridiculing you or anything about you not being licensed and insured and doing those jobs. Do what you got to do. My recommendation is get licensed and insured. That's my recommendation. That's my impetus towards you is to do that. I really don't want you to see you get in trouble, because trust me, I've seen way too many people get in trouble and go bankrupt and lose everything because they were doing something that they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
Right. So talk to Erica, talk to Jessica, get that stuff sorted out as soon as you can, if that's where you want to go. Me, what I'm doing with my challenge in my company right now is I'm going to be just working on labor only jobs. I'm not going to worry about full service jobs right now. Right. Maybe at the end when it gets close to the end of the year and we built up a little bit of a nest egg, then maybe I can go and buy a small truck, get myself licensed and insured. Does this make sense? But right now, I'm expecting the first year nothing but labor only services. Right. And then next year, the year after that, 2025, I'm expecting probably most of that year will be labor only services. Really, I wouldn't expect myself to be able to transition to a full service moving company until after the second year. Because I got to save up money. I've got to, really work out what my mission statement is, what my USP is. That's actually going to communicate. And that's going to take some iterations. And that's going to take some evolving to actually get down and sort it out. Plus, I'm going to have to work out systems and processes for the building for my guys when they come in. And I've got to work to get good guys and, guys that I can trust, et cetera. Right. And that's going to take a year or two to get sorted out. So, but like you, I'm going to take everything and anything I can get. Right. As long as they're willing to pay me the price that there's that price that I'm not willing to go below. And, and if they want anything lower than that, I'm not their person. There's other people that will go and do that for rock bottom prices. I am not going to compromise my profit to get a job.
Yeah.
Right? Does this make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I really recommend that you really reconsider how you're going to pay your guys. Because, man, if I were your guys and I had a labor only job that was a 2-hour mini and it was a 1-bedroom apartment, I know I can knock that sucker out in an hour. And now I'm getting paid 4 hours for something that just took me an hour to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to do that, if you're going to do a guaranteed minimum, which isn't a horrible idea. It's not the greatest idea, but it's not a horrible idea. Do a 2-hour mini.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure, yeah. I mean, my thought process was like, just like you said, that, you know, if they think if they know that, you know, they're getting a 4-hour minimum, they would knock out the job as fast as they can, and then hopefully that would leave the customer happy with my services as far as getting it done quicker, so that, you know, they could come back. That kind of was my thought process.
Let me ask you that. How's that worked out for you so far?
How's that work? I mean, I honestly just started it. So.
You only have 60 reviews.
Yeah.
You don't have that many reviews.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
So and you've got a 4.6 rating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you straight. I'm not gonna pull a punch. They're not doing that great of a job.
Yeah, well, you are.
To have a 4.6 rating with 60 reviews means you've had a lot of 1-star reviews.
Yeah, too many, for sure.
So that whole idea of them getting a Ford that they'll knock it out and do a really great job, no,
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's just if you're going to do a mini, which isn't it isn't the worst idea in the world. In fact, I thought about doing a mini, but I'm not going to do more than a 2-hour mini, right? So if they do a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment, you're talking an hour to an hour and a half to either do a load or an unload. You know what I mean? Now, the only reason why it would take more than 2 hours for a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment is if they're in a high rise, you know, something on the 4th floor and they had to do a long carry. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But if they got to do more than 2 hours for something like that, then the company's obviously going to get paid the extra time that it takes to get done. So if it took like 3 hours, they're going to still get paid their 3 hours, right? But you are too, right? And you're going to make a profit. Now, if it took 3 hours to do a 1-bedroom apartment because there was a long carry and it was up 3 or more flights of stairs in the apartment, right? Awesome, great, no problem. But then you got a half-hour drive there and a half-hour drive. You're going to get paid for hours. That's great. Now you're making money. I need you to make money, right? You've got your own bills to pay plus all the company's bills. Plus you got to start putting money away so that you can have the money to get the insurance and buy trucks and maintain the trucks, wrap the trucks, right? Get all the promo printed that you need, like postcards, business cards, T-shirts, you know, door hangers, flyers, whatever it is, right? You're going to need gas in your car to go do estimates and networking groups, etc. Right? You can't go do door knocking on an empty tank of gas.
Mm-hmm.
So that all costs money. Now, and quite honestly, I don't think you really thought all that through with your pay structure. Am I right or am I wrong? You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm a big boy. I can handle it.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, I understand what you're saying.
But is it resonating? Because you seem kind of like, yeah, whatever, man. It's not like this is like really getting to you. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you the most amount of value that I possibly can.
No, that's just my.
I don't want to waste your time.
Yeah, no, that's just my face for sure. No, you definitely helped me though. Definitely gave me a lot of different ideas, different marketing ideas. As far as the pay structure, that's definitely something I could revisit. Talk to my guys and let them know, like, listen, we gotta rethink how we're doing this. But yeah, the point that you made as far as I gotta put money out for what's it called, for like different my bills and all that. That's definitely a valid point. You know, yeah. So I think like you said, my biggest thing is getting license and insurance. That way, I could target more of more jobs, like hopefully more start 2 bedrooms and apartment moves. And yeah, just go from there. And then, like I said, the different I wrote down, different strategies, PPC, networking, cold calling, postcards, and then Facebook marketing. So, it's definitely resonating for sure. I definitely taking notes and
All right.
paying attention.
One thing.
I just got that face. I don't know. You always say that. Like I always got that face where I'm just laid back.
All right. Well, dude, you got to get excited. If you're going to do this business, you want to be excited. You want to be successful in your business. You got to be excited about your business. Okay. Sure. And if you've got to force yourself to be excited, right? So and I'm not trying to insult you in any manner or form. You're a great guy. You've been in business, 3-4 years now. So you obviously got some brains in your head, right? You're a good looking kid. You're young. You're trying to be an entrepreneur. You're not stupid. You're not incapable. Just trying to give you some critiques to get a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you talking to me, especially for free. Taking the time out your day. We've been on the call almost 2 hours. So, I do.
One thing I forgot to mention, when you're doing door knocking, don't forget to hit up a luxury, middle income to luxury apartment complexes. You don't want to go to the hood to go talk to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you want to go to apartment managers and door knock and start networking, leaving promo with them and so on and so forth. One of the things that I found when I went to apartments is, especially student apartments, is doing pizza parties. So I'd go buy like 20, 30, 40, 50 pizzas, right? And I'd bring it out and I would say, hey, can I throw a pizza party for your residents? Right. So in their lobby, I would set up a bunch of pizzas and get some soft drinks and stuff. And then I'd leave a bunch of promo. And that's not even something you have to be there to do.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, and you just put a little sign. This is provided to you by Alien Movers. If you need moving help, here's a QR code. Scan the code. Right. And then leave some brochures or business cards, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And just leave some pop, some cups and a few pizzas, right? Doesn't have to be a lot, right? 10 pizzas, some pepperoni, some cheese, maybe some vegetarian. You know what I mean? Because, some of these college kids think they're vegan or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's
right. And then, you just say, hey, thank you. You thank the manager, say, hey, appreciate you letting me do this. I hope the people like it. Keep whatever's left over. At the end of the day, if there's stuff left over and you want it, keep it. You know what I mean? It's yours. Or throw it away. Or give it to a homeless person. Whatever. And you're in a city that has a lot of homeless, so.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of homeless.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
Oh, but that's one thing too. That's one way you can start building up a net relationship and door knocking is doing the apartments, as well as real estate agents, as well as self-storage, as well as homeowners that have their homes for sale, right? And then when you're doing the homes, you want to go from a median income home and above, right? Don't go for the trashy, rundown hood type homes. You know what I mean? You want to go with people that have money. Right, and go and target those. Because you're labor only, you could come down just a slight bit from that level, right? But not too much, right? Yeah. If you're finding that you're getting If you come down a little bit and you're finding you're getting a lot of troublemakers and people that are just nothing problems, then start increasing it, right? So that you get rid of those tire kickers and people that basically want free service, you know, or come up and make up damage claims so that they get a free move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want those kind of people. And there's a lot of people, just like there's bad movers that will scam customers. There's far more customers that will try to scam a company. You know what I mean? And the cheaper, the lower income the people are, the worse it is, right? Rarely will you get somebody, you know, you'll get them, but they'll be far less and far between, right? All right. Any other questions that you have for me?
No, I think I honestly think any tips you got for the slow season? What do you any tips or advice you got for it being in the slow season?
Well, the only tip that I have for you is what we've already discussed. If you want to make it in the slow season right now, is you got to get out there and door knock.
Yeah.
Right. Really, truly. And that is what's going to think, because you're in phase 2 right now, which is getting the company known. You're kind of there, but you're not fully there. And once we get you, what we need to do then from phase 2, we got to get you into phase 3, which is then really making the big bucks. Does this make sense? So
yeah.
Phase 3, that's when you're going to raise your prices. That's when you're going to start upgrading equipment. That's when you're going to start giving the best services, so on and so forth. Okay.
All right. So.
All right.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
No, that's it. That's you answered all my questions, and
Great.
definitely gave me a lot of good things to, focus on.
Excellent. You have a great day.
All right, you too, sir.
Bye-bye.